Until recently, household central vac systems offered some convenience, but couldn't get around the number one complaint: storing and lugging around that bulky hose. Well, all that has changed. This is the exclusive Hoover Hose Magic that stores a 45-foot hose neatly inside the wall cavity. It's the only in-the-wall central vac hose management system that uses a 120-volt wind tunnel power nozzle with patented wind tunnel technology and Hoover Hush power canisters for powerfully quiet operation. The self-cleaning DuPont Teflon filter system offers the ultimate in home environment air quality and filters down to zero point 0.1 micron at 95% efficiency. There's also a complete accessory kit with a full array of handy tool attachments that can be neatly stored and ready to use. With the push of a button, the 45-foot hose can be dispensed from the wall, helping to provide 2,000 square feet of coverage from a single Hoover Hose Magic station. When you're finished, simply retract the hose back into the wall. Plus, the rough-in kits are easy to install and labor-saving. Let's take a look at the basic household installation procedures for the Hoover Hose Magic Central Vac System. Tools and supplies needed for installation include a Phillips head screwdriver, pocket knife, pledge furniture polish, and a cloth rag, PVC glue, crimp pliers, staple gun with 3/8-inch staples, a flashlight, a drill with a 2¼ inch drill bit, along with the materials and supplies furnished for installation. Also included in the rough-in kit are a retractor cabinet assembly, storage cavity liners, hose to PVC adapter, 4 number 6 by 1 inch flathead screws to install the rough-in box in place, and 2 insulated male slip connectors for Class 2 low voltage connections. The rough-in kit will be installed between 2 wall studs in a centrally located area that allows for maximum coverage. Since the hose is 45 feet long, establish a central location by using a 50-foot measuring tape or a pre-measured 50-foot cord. The Hose Magic should not be installed on a load-bearing wall, firewall, or exterior wall, since the 2-inch vacuum source pipe, 120-volt AC power, and low-voltage line will all be run to the Hose Magic. The finished rough-in kit will have a 2-inch PVC vacuum source and a low-voltage line extending 8 inches into the upper right-hand corner of the cavity opening. A 120-volt AC line will enter in the upper left corner of the retractor cabinet. The 2-inch PVC vacuum line and the low-voltage line will run to the central vac canister located in another part of the house. To install the rough-in kit, you will construct a free space area in the stud wall 30½ inches wide by 43 inches high, starting 5 inches above the floor. Note, if the molding is going to be higher than 5 inches, be sure to start at a height above the molding. Some cutting may be required to construct the proper space, along with top and bottom purlings. Now, to install the retractor cabinet, make a mark on the right-hand stud by measuring 40¾ inches above the top of the lower purling, which is 5 inches above the floor. Set the retractor cabinet into the prepared space, allowing for the PVC to extend 8 inches into the upper right-hand corner. Install 1 number 6 by 1 inch flathead screw in the flange of the retractor cabinet. Level the box and install a screw in the opposite side. Check to make sure the measurements are correct and the box is level, and install the other 3 screws. The 2-inch PVC coming in at the top of the retractor cabinet can be measured, aligned, and inserted into the upper left corner of the retractor cabinet. Be sure that 8 inches of PVC extends into the cavity opening. Reach into the closed portion of the cabinet from underneath with the hose to PVC adapter, and glue the adapter onto the 2-inch pipe projecting into the cabinet from above. There will be low-voltage wiring near the location of the 2-inch vacuum pipe. Pull approximately 18 inches of these 2 small wires through the hole on the top of the retractor cabinet left of where the pipe enters the retractor. Tie a knot in the wire so it cannot be pulled back through the hole. crimp the two inline crimp slip connectors, which are provided, onto the low voltage wires. The 120 volt AC line will run to a 15 amp ground fault circuit interrupter, GFCI, which can be marked but not connected at this time. To install the cavity liner, place the 3.5 inch by 32 inch sections over the two studs and bottom purling, covering the 2x4 studs. Staple securely using 3/8 inch staples every 5 inches along the outer edge of the stud and purling. You may have to tap the staples flush with a hammer. The width of the plastic liners may also need trimmed. The storage liner must get a liberal coating of Pledge furniture polish to all the smooth inside surfaces before it is placed over the cavity opening. Slip the large wall liner up over the face on the bottom of the retractor cabinet and staple in place to the studs and purling. The liners must enclose the entire wall cavity below the retractor cabinet. Note, this appliance is designed to be permanently hardwired by a qualified electrician to a ground fault circuit interrupter 15 amp circuit breaker. Also, check your local building codes for any other stipulations that must be adhered to. Remove the switch cover plate on the inside of the retractor cabinet and wire to the electrical codes provided with your instructions. Generally, the canister will be located in the basement, utility room, garage, or any other remote area where it is convenient to an electrical outlet and will not be exposed to the weather. Do not install the canister in a heat-producing or confined area such as an attic or furnace room. The power canister can be exhausted to the outside if desired, but it is not mandatory. The canister should be at least 12 inches from the ceiling or any corner wall in order to properly cool the motor. Also, make sure the canister is at least 18 inches above the floor to allow enough room to remove the dust container. Central vac power canisters require a separate, dedicated 120 volt, 60 Hz, 20 amp, 3-wire grounded power circuit, protected by a 120 volt, 60 Hz AC 20 amp time delay fuse or circuit breaker, and a 120 volt, 60 Hz, 20 amp grounded receptacle, installed by a qualified electrician. The receptacle should be no more than 5 feet from the power canister. Once the location has been determined, a mounting bracket must be installed onto the wall surface. Obviously, cement block or concrete walls will have different mounting hardware than drywall or plaster walls. Check your instructions for hardware guidelines for various types of walls. Mark the upper hole of the bracket and make sure it's straight. Drill directly over the mark and fasten the bracket securely to the wall. Next, mount the power canister on the bracket, making sure the bar on the back is settled to the bottom